Hey guys, welcome yet to another episode of the 4Train Podcast. Israel Navarro, with Anzo, we're coming to you live with exciting content here today. Well, one of the coolest things is what if, right? We have to play the what if with, no, we don't know what's going to come out of the MLB lockout. We don't know what's going to be the turn of event. So after reading a few articles, and I seen that they pointed this out, one of the possibilities that the Yankees can do turning into this season, this offseason, is that Gio Urshela might be the Yankee shortstop coming into the 2022 season. Now, you can ask me my opinion, and man, I got to break it to you. I'm not too excited when I read the article. I'm not too excited with that opinion. Nothing against Gio Urshela. I think he's a phenomenal player. If you look back in July 4th of this year on the doubleheader against the Mets, I was there in the stands when he hit a home run. You can see me. I'm the tall, lengthy guy with the gray shirt and the Yankee hat on in the stands, seeing him hit that home run. I was there live when I saw it. So I know he's a phenomenal player. That's not a question. That's why he deserves to wear a pinstripe. But I do not see it working out in the long run. And why? Well, one of the key things is that this offseason, the Yankees 100% have to, and I mean have to, sign a shortstop. Nothing against Gio, even Torres, but these were guys that, sad to say, can't get the job done as shortstops for the New York Yankees. It's a hard news. I don't want to say hard news, but hard fact that I'm breaking. These are guys that just can't carry it. Now, we understand that Trevor Story is a good defensively as a shortstop, but he's not good offensively. But if the Yankees were to go after him, all right, that would be a solid choice. You know, it just gives us a few years to maybe where the Yankees want to develop their prospects and have them call up. We know Anthony Volpe is one of the hottest shortstops coming. He's a New Jersey native. He's obviously looking good, especially in minor league ball. But here is the fact. Now, if you get Trevor Story, or we actually go through and just make Gio Urshela the shortstop of the New York Yankees, well, is that the way, Cashman and team are looking at it as like, all right, we'll have Gio as shortstop until Anthony Volpe is ready to get called up, or another prospect that they may have in mind that they think will be ready to be the shortstop for the New York Yankees? That is a question we have to be asking ourselves without a shadow of a doubt. Now, I'm going to tell you this. We understand that as Yankee fans, and I'm going to include myself, for the longest time, Derek Jeter hold that position solid. We got accustomed to it, and sure, when A-Rod came, and why I'm going to talk about this A-Rod, because this is where I'm going to make my preference heard, especially here. In 2001, Alex Rodriguez, obviously, he was hot-headed, a little egotistical, but obviously made some smart comment of Derek Jeter. Obviously, Derek Jeter was not too fond about that, and that obviously stained their relationship. But in 2004, Alex Rodriguez joined us here in the Bronx. And what did he do? He obviously moved to third base. Derek Jeter was obviously stayed at shortstop. But we put the Eagles aside. We understand all the controversy behind Alex Rodriguez, but we put it aside and look at what happened. We got a World Series in 2009. Now, we're in a time where we have not won a World Series with more than 10 years. We're basically going on 12 years without having a World Series played in the Bronx. So that is why I'm going to say this. I would prefer 100% Gio Urshela is not our shortstop. And in a good case situation, he's our emergency backup if we need it. Because I would 100% prefer, coming out of the MLB lockout, I would love to see the Yankees go after Carlos Correa. We definitely need someone to sell it. We're going to have to do the same thing that we did with Alex Rodriguez. We have to push all the controversy inside and focus on the bigger picture. Obviously, he has to build a rapport with Judge, who's considered the leader of the locker room, of the clubhouse. He's going to have to do that. He's going to have to earn the respect. Yes, Carlos Correa is going to be a very controversial player. We know he's very egotistical. He says anything off his mind, basically. And look, I can even see that people are like, oh, he cheated. He wasn't good for us. It's not going to work for us. And look, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to make this reference if you don't know it, but in professional wrestling, John Cena was the guy that had a part of the audience saying, let's go Cena, and the other half saying, Cena sucks. I wouldn't be surprised if half the Yankee fans are saying, let's go Correa, and Correa sucks until he brings us a World Series. But I think that's 100% the best choice the Yankees have to do. No disrespect to Gio. I think he's a phenomenal ball player, but he is not in the position to be our shortstop. It would be a huge loss. It would be a big, big mistake by the Yankee organization to really think Gio is our guy. I think 100% we have to go after Carlos Correa or Trevor Story and really make that happen this season, this offseason. So that way when pitchers and catcher report, we already know what is going on in our shortstop position. That is 100% what we have to do. That is my take. Right now, I'm going to send it over to Anzo. Anzo will give you guys a different perspective of what the Yankees can do. But let's see it. Anzo, let me know. Do you feel comfortable with having Gio as our shortstop?
Thanks, Israel. For Gio Urshela, I'm not a really huge fan. I mean, he's cool. He's like one of the few Colombian players that are playing baseball, and he's awesome. But as a long-term shortstop option, I don't think so. Maybe as a short, like stopgap type of guy, maybe he's really good with the glove. But we saw this past year that he dealt with some injuries, and I'm not a fan of injuries. So I don't know what to really expect from Gio Urshela. At the end of the day, it's just going to be something that the Yankees are going to have to decide. For me, if I were running the Yankees, I wouldn't go with Gio Urshela. Maybe if I wanted to get a prospect up for like Anthony Volpe, maybe. But in that case, I'll just have the prospects just come on up and prove themselves. But I would rather go the Carlos Correa route. I would rather get a solid shortstop and just deal that way. Not have to find these guys that Brian Cashman has been doing these past few years and just finding guys that are injured or finding guys here and there, odd pieces, and putting them together. So, no, I mean, Israel, I wouldn't have Gio Urshela as our main guy at short. I don't think so. But looking at how the Yankees are, and if they don't make any moves, I mean, that could be a possibility. Thanks, Israel.
Awesome, Anzo. And also, I want to just point out, Anzo does have his own YouTube channel. Obviously, it's Anzo. He talks Yankee contact, and he has done multiple videos on options that the Yankees can do for shortstop. So that link will be in the bio section or bio description section below. But don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Thank you so much for joining us again. And guys, let us know in the comment section below. Are you comfortable in worst case scenario? Gio Urshela is our shortstop. Take care and see you guys soon. See ya.